Pause. Time. Cut. And we're back.
Frank Dutton Field, Danny.
It's the practice field. It's Saturday morning.
I hear
It's
whistles going on behind us.
Oh, you know what that means?
No, what is it?
Football season is upon us, buddy.
Oh, buddy. 70 degrees on Saturday. Little windy.
Little windy.
I'm happy.
It could be 90. It could be 90. It's football weather. It's fall weather. And this is the first ever Bulldog TV football preview show.
I can't wait.
We're glad you tuned in. Hopefully we've got somebody tuned in.
Well, if we've got 2 people, I feel like we've probably made it.
Well, we appreciate their support for sure.
We've got a schedule lined up here today.
We've got a heck of a schedule.
Interviews coming up. I'm excited. I'll tell you the one thing before we bring in the first guest.
Yeah.
When you see these players walk out,
I know what you're going to say.
Those are some big boys.
There's some big boys.
I walked up thinking, I don't even think I'd tangle with any of them.
Why would you?
I wouldn't.
No, they are. No kidding. We've got all the groups here, freshmen through seniors, and it's Earn Your Jersey Day, Chad. You know what that means? I'll tell you what it means. Coach Adkins brings them all out. He invites all the parents out here to watch practice. It's kind of a neat kickoff to the season. And at the end, there's a special moment, which you probably won't see because it is kind of program special.
Yep.
But they earn their jersey, and I won't give it away how they do it, but there's some team bonding that happens. But what you will see today is you'll see them in the background doing some drills and such.
Oh, we're already lined up and going. I didn't even notice. I heard the whistle, but it didn't occur to me.
It's happening. It's happening. So I think we might as well kick this off with our first guest. What do you think?
Let's do that. Why don't you talk a little bit about it, and we'll get him on.
Yeah. So our first guest is what we like to call the man behind the curtain.
Oh, Wizard of Oz?
The Wizard. He's also known as Simon Anderson. Simon Anderson is here. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
Well, you should know all about the show. You produce it. So why don't you talk about Bulldog TV, give a little background, talk about these kids, whatever you want to talk about.
Bulldog TV has been around for a while now. I think almost at least 10 years. It's been in my hands, so to speak, for the last 4. And we just keep growing and growing and growing. The goal ultimately is to show the folks at home every home event we possibly can. Obviously, a couple sports that are off-site and things that are outdoors, it's tough to get everything. But a show like today, thank you guys so much for this awesome idea. I don't want to take the credit for this, but
it's your time. Yeah, it's a good effort.
A show like today just kind of shows the strides that we've been taking to really bring a broadcast that the Mahomet fans, family and friends can watch and rely on, and not just show the game, but with good commentary, better production quality, and of course a lot of that starts in the classroom too. There's been, for a bit longer of a time, I'm not exactly sure the year, but the digital multimedia course began a while back, and there's some even more behind the scenes, training kids with the equipment, preparation of graphics, basic knowledge of video production, and of course live broadcasting, which is a whole different beast of its own. But
well, I was going to say, Simon, like everybody thinks, I was naive to this before I got involved. I thought you just press play and there's a camera and YouTube streaming, and there's a production going on here, and these kids, they deserve a lot of credit, but the instruction's coming from you, so you've been coordinating us, and I love to see, I've been involved for a little while, but not as long as you, but there has been huge strides in terms of, like, you guys keep stepping up your game more and more every single year, and it's cool to see, and I know the folks at home love it.
Well, like you said, I mean, thank you, of course, and thanks to everyone watching at home who always drop nice comments and leave great messages for the work that we're doing, but so much more of the credit and work goes to the students involved. They obviously, there's a lot of folks have vision, but it's not going to happen unless you've got the drive from the select few that put in hours of their time to make sure that our new instant replay expression is working, or some new motion graphic they want to implement, or titles underneath the whoever's on screen, that sort of thing.
Those little touches that
Right.
really make
They're not
it
just
cool.
showing up on Friday night throwing things on a computer. There's a lot of work that goes into this
Absolutely.
throughout the week and the year leading up to it.
Yep.
One of the things that Dan and I noticed specifically last year is, and you mentioned it, you want to have a broadcast that's for the community, but there are a lot of people tuning into these events that are not in this community.
You're right.
Grandparents, relatives, or upcoming opponent. I mean, there's a lot of people that are watching this that kind of.
Don't forget the visiting team.
Yeah, right.
I
It's a
mean,
big
I
part
think
of the
one of
crowd.
our most watched events ever was a football game against Marion. I mean, how
Yeah.
far away are they? And not to mention during pandemic times the value of it. And I think actually, I mean, that lent a little bit to the ramping up. Like, okay, well, if the majority of folks are going to be watching some of these indoor events from home, then we better make sure that it's a program they enjoy to watch. But yeah, absolutely. There's folks from all over the world. I mean, grandparents love chiming in and say, "Hey, it's great to see my so-and-so grandson. I'm watching from Puerto Rico or Europe."
We've had them from Argentina. There was Europe last year. Literally all over the world.
Yeah, we had somebody from
We had some
We got to
fun
play.
with that.
We started playing a little game, like the closest and farthest.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you do a great job, obviously. There's just so much that can be done in the future, and I know you've got big plans, and we just show up, Chad and I.
But pretty much. We bring a clipboard to make it look like we put a lot of work into it.
But I certainly appreciate the hard work that goes into it.
So I'm just going to mention a few names, and then I'm going to ask you a question. This is obviously not everyone involved in this, but Ryan Ziegler, Simon, obviously we can have you here, Alex Ziegler, Gage Edelman, Peyton Mitchum, Chris Roberts. What do these kids get out of it? I mean, they're learning skills that they can take if they want to pursue a career in media or some of the coursework that goes in.
Yeah, for sure. There's a number of students that have gone on to broadcasting or media-related careers, and it's not just based on interest and talent. Some of them, seek it out because of the experience they've gained here. A couple names that I know have been super involved in the past, and probably likely this year: Chase Stevens, Brandon Rohde. A lot of them have expressed interest and sought out internships and ways that they can get in at the ground level at media companies locally, and just their own entrepreneurial spirit too. Like, hey, it's not hard to get your hands on some video editing software now, and that business is never going away. So you have some talent making, video production for special events and weddings and other things. Live streaming church services has become like a big business now. So, and that's basically the goal of the whole vocation department. The CTE is Career and Technical Education, whether it's media or building trades or the agriculture industry, our facts and life skills, business. The whole point is taking the book learning of the classroom, applying it to, real life career readiness opportunity.
Is there? I assume that there is. So I'm not trying to set you up, obviously, but we see a lot of more creativity coming on the fly when we're involved. Is that encouraged from the program? Like, hey, let's try this instead during live broadcasts.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. The first thing I told, so a couple of the gentlemen working with us today, whose names you said are incoming freshmen, and I the first thing they probably didn't expect to hear out of me was, everything's an experiment today, guys. This is the first time we've done it, and folks at home can probably tell we're shooting from a bit of a distance, but if we can send audio back, then let's give it a whirl, and sure enough, it's working out. So yeah, absolutely. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and if it does, then we roll with it, and you only get better by making some mistakes.
I love it. It's a great thing we're all doing, and you deserve a lot of credit. So Simon, we appreciate you. You don't ever get a lot of camera time, so this is new for you.
Well, I watch
It sounds like you try not to.
The events I see at home. it is kind of endearing to hear you drop the names of the students and, of course, me. You don't have to do that, by the way. I get it.
Okay, Simon Anderson. No problem, Simon Anderson.
Yeah.
But, yeah, thanks for putting me on the program
Thanks for
today.
the students and you guys for putting this on. It was kind of just an idea we had floating around. You guys pulled it off, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
Great. And
appreciate
Coach Elm,
it.
I hope you enjoyed the program, and these guys should take care of you today.
All righty. Thanks, Simon, and get back to work. So, Chad, I guess next we're going to talk about a little bit of our season schedule.
I'm going to switch over here for a second.
Yeah, we're going to switch headsets real quick. Matter of fact, why don't we take a little break? We talked all about Bulldog TV.
Yep.
But we didn't talk about the sponsors, so let's pay them some credit here. RZ in the booth. Well, let's take a little break. We'll be right back here on Bulldog TV live preview show.
The Mahomet-Seymour High School Athletic Boosters are proud to continue their support of 20 sport programs that make up MSHS Bulldog Athletics. They thank you for your continued support, and go Bulldogs!
For 150 years, you've believed in Busey. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family for generations. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868.
At D1 Networks, we take our role in connecting, protecting, and monitoring businesses in Central Illinois very seriously. When you need us, we'll be there, with service that sets the standard. From access control and structured cabling, to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363. Jackson Construction and Restoration is a family-owned and operated company specializing in residential and commercial services. We have been serving Central Illinois for over 20 years. If you want to remodel a room, restore a deck, or even start fresh with a new house, Jackson is there. And in the times of need after any fire or storm damage, our team of experts is there to help you rebuild or restore your home. Call now for an estimate on your next project.
Good.
All right, we're live. We're back.
Go, D-Dubs.
We're back on Bulldog TV, and we have some extremely special guests today.
Oh.
Coach Adkins designates a few players, and he calls the leadership group, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Is that the technical name? So these are guys and players that Coach Adkins has empowered to lead this whole team, and that's pretty special. There's not just two of them. There's not just four of them. There's how many? 9?
9, 12.
How many we got here? You guys count? I know you're football players, but there's 9 of them. So what we'd like to do, Chad, I think we want to go through each one real quick because we've got some time with them, and I know they'd rather not be practicing right now, I'm guessing.
Uh-oh.
But
I smell some sprints coming on.
yeah. So let's start with our first guest here.
Well, why don't you tell us who you are, what position you play, what year you're in, and what you're most excited about this year.
Well, my name is Dayton Eisman, and I play safety, corner, just DB, and I'm most excited to win state this year. So, yeah.
Love it. Love to hear it.
I'm going to be a senior, too, as well. I think it was one of your
Senior,
questions as
yeah.
well, yeah.
All right. Tell us one thing, Dayton, that you like to do for fun outside of football.
Ooh, that's pretty hard.
You're on live TV.
Keep it
No,
PG.
yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, I will. I mean, I like to hunt. I like to drive my gator, and I like to farm. So
Country boy.
there you go.
Attaboy.
We got a lot of those here today.
All right, we're gonna run through. So you're gonna be back to talk, but we're gonna run to the next guy. So-
Dayton, one question before you go.
yeah,
Ask
real
everyone
quick.
the same question. Looking at the schedule this year, what's one team you're really looking forward to and why?
Well, it's got to be this year. I know. We were upset about.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Maybe a little rotisserie.
That's right. Yeah. And so I was pretty upset about the loss. So we're gonna. I know all these guys are pretty upset too. So that's gonna be a game that we've had circled on their calendar for a while. So.
I heard there's been a little counting down to that one.
Yeah, just
literally.
just a little bit in the locker room and everything.
I
So
heard a little something about that.
Yeah.
I think the dad group's got a little countdown too.
well, better because this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
big
Dave
luck, huh?
Heisman, looking forward to seeing you play this year.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, we got a new one here.
Who's next? Who's next?
We'll just keep going down the line.
Yeah, we'll get through all you guys, so be prepared. All right, next up I think we got a little Ryan Kohler in the house.
Oh.
Yep. Ryan, same thing. Why don't you tell us what position you play, what year you are in school, all that good stuff.
I'm a receiver, and I'm a senior at mahomet-seymour High School.
All right, all right. You're going to ask him the same question every time, Chad?
Well,
or
I
wanna
mean,
mix
we
it
can
up?
ask him whatever we want. We're in
We're
charge.
live TV here, guys. You know this
Yeah.
isn't scripted, right?
Hey, Mom.
Is it going to be the same question for everyone? Is the Morton game the one we're looking to have backs on?
Obviously, yeah.
So
We can save that one. We're going to come back to there. And why? Why is it? Is it just, I mean, were there any things in the Mount Zion, the Lincoln game, or anything like that where you'd like to have back or do different than last year that you're preparing for?
Well, obviously the Mount Zion game was really close. That was a really good game. All of them were like a lot of fun and stuff, but the Morton game is just different than all of them. Obviously because of the loss and just like the hardships we faced that game and how much we prepared in this off season for that game. And it's like all we've been thinking about. So it's like Morton's on our mind.
Yeah, next up. Hey, you got a bad taste in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
You spit that taste out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It's great that you guys have the opportunity to get that bad taste out.
Yep.
Day one, and that's 14 days from today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to ask something a little bit, because I think we're going to hear Morton a lot, but if somebody has something different, we'll address it. But tell me, what's a practice like for Coach Adkins?
It's very fast-paced. You know, we don't really do conditioning at the end of practice, which is kind of unusual, but our conditioning is during practice, like how fast-paced we go, how hard we go. And one big thing is just, like, we're a big family. Like, even if a defense player knocks an offense player down or an offense player knocks a defense down, which usually happens, you know, we're all there just to help each other up.
I heard that. Them defensive guys behind you about ready to hit you. I heard that. I like it, though. That's great. Family
Yeah.
strong, right?
Yep, family strong.
Hashtag family strong.
Yep.
All right, good job, Ryan. Let's bring in another senior or leadership group. Sit on down. This is where it happens, right here in the trenches, right?
Yes, sir.
This is where it all starts. Say your name.
I'm,
what year you are, what position you play, all that.
I'm Marshall Bacher. I'm a senior. Thanks, Ed. I play O-line. Yeah.
O-line, the most underappreciated position.
We've talked about these guys a lot. They don't get a lot of mention, primarily just because the fast pace of the game. But you know, you've got receivers up here, you've got Baum over here. We're going to bring in. You guys are kind of the heart to some of the stats that we're going to talk about later. How are you guys conditioning and what does it feel like when a defensive end gets to Baum? What's that make you feel like the next time?
You know, it just kind of brings on like a little bit of a revenge tour when they get a sack on us. Because like if they get a sack on us, we're really just going to go 110% right back at them, just like every other play. We're going hard every single time.
Love it. We talked about the Hogs. You guys are the Hogs, right? Like, do you have a little nickname in your group, or are you still working on that?
Yeah, we when we break out our line group, we call ourselves Beef Lodge.
What is it?
Beef Lodge.
Beef Lodge?
Beef Lodge.
Oh, we're going to use that for
Yeah,
sure.
we got all kinds of farm animals going on today.
Wow, Hogs, Beef Lodge. So what's the significance of that name? Can you say it on live TV?
Yeah, it's kind of like just a lineage thing that we have in the line group. Like it's been going back for, I don't know, before me and McCain Didier started playing.
Oh, good stuff.
So, we
Beef
kinda just
Lodge, I love it.
Follow through with it.
That's great. That's great.
Yep.
What else? You got anything else for the big boy?
That's it. Do we get your year? You senior?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
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 Well, we're looking to talk a lot more about the O-line this year. Appreciate you what you guys bring to the program.
For sure.
All right, let's bring in our next. We're taking a lot of time. We're going to have to speed this up.
We're going to speed it up.
Simon's going to start giving us all
Yeah,
this
we're gonna
stuff.
get the high
Coach
side.
Atkins going to be like, come on, these guys aren't that good. They need practice. So who we got here?
Valiant Walsh, I'm senior, slot.
Senior.
So.
Are you a freshman, Valiant?
I'm a senior.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Senior. All right.
I'm being facetious. We obviously heard your name a lot.
All right, Valiant, I'm going to ask a question. So, I'm not familiar with the playbook, but I know it's pretty thick. That's
Yeah,
what I do now.
yeah.
As a slot receiver, how do you learn all these plays?
You know, we just do a lot of repetition in practice, and it's very up-tempo, like they said. So when we're getting back from a play, we're jogging, already finding out our next play. So it's just countless repetition, and, you know, we have a bunch of formations, bunch of plays coming out of it. So just, again, repetition.
Repetition, a little study time at home probably?
Yeah, plenty of study time at home. So.
Right on. You got a question, Chad? I'm trying to switch on and off, so
I have one for you.
We
It's
can
a
hear
little
your
bit of a
sweet
loaded
voice.
question, but this year, who's better, offense or defense?
You know, that's...
So you have to answer it. You're on live
That's
TV.
a little rough.
just so you know, you got three defenders.
They're in a 3-point stance behind you.
Actually,
to answer it right.
Actually, now they're circled. There's 5 blue shirts, so be careful here.
You know, I'm going to have to say we're both pretty good. We're both going to compete this year, but I'm on offense, so I'm going to have to go
Yeah,
offense.
he would. He has to.
I'm going to have to
But
go
that
offense.
was a
Sorry.
very, very well said political answer that he hit it home with. But I'm the offense, so you
Yep.
got to go with your guys. I get it. Valiant, what are you looking forward to the most this season?
You know, I feel like we have a lot to prove losing in the playoffs, so we got far, but that wasn't far enough. So I feel like we're going to push it and come back out firing this year. So I'm excited to fire back and see what we can do.
Right on, man. We look forward to
sir.
seeing you out there scoring some TDs and cutting and going fast.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in our next guest.
Jake Waldinger?
I know Coach Atkins, he's going to be wanting you.
Yeah,
guys
he's going to get
in.
fired up at us.
Yeah. And he's got to have his time, too. I think he's up
Jake,
next.
you've got a different answer than everyone else.
Yeah.
What's the game and why?
Well, obviously Morton, there's different reasons, but mine is Quincy, just because last year we planned the most for them, like we got ready for them the most, and I don't think they were quite ready for what we had in store. And this year they're going to come back and they're going to, that's their Morton. Like our Morton, that's them for us. So I think that's going to be our hardest challenge. That's why I'm looking forward to that the most.
You know, I
You
like
guys
that.
smoked them 41-0 last year.
Yeah, 42 to, I think it was like 42 to 14 or
Yeah,
something like
they
that.
scored a couple.
But yeah, we punched them in the mouth, and they're going to punch back.
I think that's an interesting answer because that is about midway through the season, isn't it, boys? And that might be where you're on a little bit of a run, hopefully, and you're on a high. So I like that answer. You never know. You
Thank
never
you
know.
for that.
Jake, by the way, tell the camera we skipped over who you are. I certainly know who you are.
I'm Jake Waldinger, corner, senior.
Okay. All right. What do you think? Offense or defense? Who's better?
We compete a lot. It kind of depends on the day, but defense, we got more returners, and we're definitely more skilled and better. So.
Whoa! Them are fighting
Someone's
words.
calling your name on that side of the field.
Them are fighting words.
I mean, they got some studs on offense too. So.
I think Mom's over there talking to Q right now, planning something for you. I don't know. You better be ready.
Yeah, me and him go back and forth.
Anyway, so let me ask you this. What is different about this year's team than last year? Everybody talks about last year, right? That was very much a success. But you lost guys. What's different about this group compared to last year?
Last year we were junior-led. This year we're senior-led. We have more experience. And last year we kind of, most of us hadn't been in like a playoff kind of game, like a Morton game. I just think this year we have all that experience, and that's just going to lead us even further. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. You got anything else, Jager?
That's it. Let's roll them in. I
All
don't
right,
want to get in
Jager.
trouble with
Next-
Atkins.
Yeah, no, we still got 4 more we got to get through here. All right, come on in, Stud.
Let's stay longer. Maybe they'll run more.
Yeah, I like it. Tell us your name, your position.
Yeah, my name is Braden Houchin. I'm a senior DB this year. So.
All right, another DB.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I do have a question. We talk about a lot with leadership. We've got the leadership team here.
Yep.
A lot of seniors here. How are you guys preparing the class that coming behind you to be those leaders in practice and making sure you got the accountability, things like that?
Yeah, definitely. So all off season we've been doing this leadership program together, and it's not just seniors a part of that. A lot of these juniors and sophomores and even a couple freshmen join us in that, and so that's really like them kind of getting introduced to it for next year so that they're able to take the reins after we're gone.
Okay, so tell me, I'm not familiar with the leadership group. You said you meet What do you do? What do you guys, without giving away too many secrets, what do you guys are doing there? What do you talk about?
So a lot of it's just like us meeting like once every 2 weeks, stuff like that. Really refreshing like what we're gonna do over there during the season, how we're gonna like lead guys up, how we're gonna keep like that culture together and what we're doing.
Right on. Sounds great.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, we got someone behind you.
Yeah,
his name is Ethan Harrell.
We're getting the cue to speed it up, guys. So
yeah, we're getting our cue. We want to give everyone a little love here.
Everybody needs the time here. Everybody needs the time. Say your name, what year school, what position you're playing, Ethan?
I'm Ethan Harrell, and I play D-end.
Right on. And you're a senior, right?
Yep.
All right, another senior. So, Ethan, what is your favorite part when it comes to the football season? What's one thing that you look forward to?
I'd say my favorite part of the season is just like being able to just how close all the guys are together, and just like the bond that we all form together.
That's awesome. Family strong. Again, you hear a lot of that theme, don't we?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We know what you do in the off season.
Oh, yeah.
You like to hunt, right?
Yeah.
We had another hunter up here. Who was it?
Old Daytona 500. Dayton Isaac.
Yeah.
Nick. Oh, we haven't talked to Nick yet. Val, I think he likes to fish and hunt.
Yep.
Here's one thing I've noticed, Dan, just for all the guys. We talk about, these guys are not small. All these guys have put on a lot of muscle in the off season. I can see that. So talk about the training off season that you're doing to prepare.
Well, I mean, it's different for all of us, but we have like off-season weightlifting, and during last year, second semester, we had 0 hour PE. So that was pretty much just lifting every morning, and Atkins programs all that for us. We go in and do it, and I know all of us do stuff on our own too, whether it just be lifting, running, going to the field, running routes, all that stuff.
Is that kind of why you guys also like to show your bellies?
Yeah, and it's a lot cooler.
Okay.
It's a lot cooler.
Good answer. All right, Ethan, we look forward to watching you play, brother.
Yeah,
Ethan,
let's go.
thanks for joining us.
Let's bring in our next guest, Mr. Belly himself. Who we got here? Say your name, your year, what position you play.
What's going on, Bulldog TV?
Attaboy.
Oh,
This is senior linebacker Nick Golden here.
Yeah, buddy. Nick Golden. Nick knows a little bit about sacks.
Yeah.
I feel like he knows a little
You
bit
got a
about
couple of those
sacks.
last year, look like.
Just a few, yeah.
You got any more left in you?
Oh, yeah. A lot more.
All right, so what's your favorite part about Bulldog football? What do you look forward to the most?
Favorite part is, someone on the defensive side of the ball makes a play, right, and they run over to the sideline to that turnover thrown. Behind them, hoisting them up. It's just such a hype environment to be a part of.
I'm glad he brought that up.
Okay, there, you might as well take it.
Y'all may
man.
take it. So one of the questions we have is, we get excited too, obviously, on Bulldog TV when there's turnover chairs coming out and crows and whatever else is going on. Is there anything new that we should expect? Or if it's a secret and you're not going to release it yet, it's okay. But should we expect something different or more of the same? Or
I mean, I could tell you a little bit about what we got, but I really wouldn't want to ruin the fun for you guys.
okay.
I like that better.
I like it.
I like that better.
I like it. So, Nick, what are some of the team goals that you guys have defensively?
Well, obviously the overarching team goal, right, like state championship, right? It's on everybody's mind. But defensively, right, we really think that we have a chance to be one of the top units in the state. We really we think we can be one of the most aggressive teams in the state, and just trying to get better every day. And we think we have the opportunity to really take the next level with this defense.
Well, you got a lot of returning players on that defense, don't you? Talk about some of the new faces. Are they going to be able to fill in some of those guys like Heiser and who am I missing defensively? Gallier.
Yeah.
You got some guys to fill those gaps?
Yeah, we got some new guys in. We got Donnie back. He's a new safety move in here. He's been really solid. Linebacker core got some new faces. Brennan Hauser, Ben Wagner. They've been fantastic so far. And then Javon Irwin moving into the defensive tackle position. He's someone to watch.
Awesome.
Still kind of some competition in that spot, but we'll see come the 26th.
Competition is good. That brings you guys depth, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, Nick, we look forward to watching you get some hits out there this year. Stay healthy. All right, good luck, and let's bring in our
Oh, we got someone with
final.
don't you put that ball down.
Well, we got one more. Go on in here, big boy. Tell the folks at home what your name is, what year in school, and what position you play.
Wyatt Baum, I'm a senior. I play quarterback.
So cornerback, you said?
Quarterback.
Quarterback.
Yeah,
Oh, that's important.
Q.
Yeah.
That's an important position, isn't it? You know, I've always wanted to ask this, and then I'll let you go to your question. The Wyatt Bomb is the perfect name for a quarterback. Why don't we use that more?
I don't know.
Huh?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
I mean, we got to use that. We got to use bomb a little bit more somehow.
But put the H in for sure, not just B-O-M-B.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how you spell his name.
True.
So.
Wyatt, here's one thing I've noticed about you just watching you play is you're a pretty unselfish quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks in high school specifically, they get a lot of pressure, they'll tuck it and run. You had a lot of faith in your O-line and your receivers. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I gotten to know like a lot of my receivers and a lot of my line personally, and I really trust them. I mean, running's not my strong suit, so I like throwing it. But yeah, I mean, it's nice when you have like guys like Quentin and Valiant coming back and just know I can trust them, and I know I can get the ball to them, and I know that I'm gonna be safe behind Marshall, guys like Marshall and McCain. So yeah.
Why do you feel, I mean, everybody knows, we're going to talk about it later in the show. You can go back home and watch it, but we're going to talk about last year a little bit, but we won't spend too much time on last year because everybody's looking forward to this year, but you guys did a lot of great things. You broke records. There's all kinds of stuff. Do you feel pressure this year to repeat, or is that something that you guys talk about or something that you internalize?
You know, like with stats and stuff like that, like just try to like go out and win. Stats come with that stuff, so you know, when it comes to wins, yeah, for sure, we want to repeat that, and we want to get farther than we did last year because quarterfinals isn't the goal. But, yeah, I mean, stats-wise, it's not really something we worry about. It's something good that comes with it, but, you know.
I think that's a really good answer. I mean, you see how many all-state, all-conference guys you got. Well, you don't get that if you're 2-8 or whatever, right? So that's a great point. What else you got, a Y-bomb?
Well, I can't even ask it because it'll tip the hand to the season, so we'll talk about that later in the program. I don't want to put these guys on the spot.
I'll ask you one more here real quick. So what's a week like for the quarterback getting ready for a game? So in 2 weeks on that Monday, what's your typical week look like in terms of prep, just for the quarterbacks?
You know, me and Lucas, we go through a lot of stuff like looking at what the defense is doing. Obviously with Morton, they haven't played this season yet, so we can't really look at film from this season, which is tough. But, you know, you look at the guys that are returning, what their good DBs are, what their good linebackers are, what are their tendencies, and then, you know, early in the week we go out and we just kind of like throw the ball. We're really like on the physical aspect of it with the mental, but then, you know, when we get later in the week, it's really more focused on the mental and just trying to get our arms ready for Friday.
Right on, right on.
Yep.
Well, guys, we are looking forward to the season. We are looking forward to your leadership of this group. But first things first, you need to get to practice. Like, enough of this lollygag.
Get to him, guys.
Get your helmets on. Good job.
Thanks so much.
All right, we're going to take, thanks, Ryan. Go get him, bud. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break on Bulldog TV. Hold on, Chris. We'll be right with you. We'll be right back. We're live. It's a preview show.
The Mahomet-Seymour High School Athletic Boosters are proud to continue their support of 20 sport programs that make up MSHS Bulldog Athletics. They thank you for your continued support, and go Bulldogs.
For 150 years, you've believed in Busey. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family for generations. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868.
At D1 Networks, we take our role in connecting, protecting, and monitoring businesses in Central Illinois very seriously. When you need us, we'll be there, with service that sets the standard. From access control and structured cabling, to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363.
Jackson Construction and Restoration is a family-owned and operated company specializing in residential and commercial services. We have been serving Central Illinois for over 20 years. If you want to remodel a room, restore a deck, or even start fresh with a new house, Jackson is there. And in the times of need after any fire or storm damage, our team of experts is there to help you rebuild or restore your home. Call now for an estimate on your next project.
The Mahomet-Seymour High School Athletic Boosters are proud to continue their support of 20 sport programs that make up MSHS Bulldog Athletics. They thank you for your continued support, and go Bulldogs!
For 150 years, you've believed in Busey. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family for generations. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868.
At D1 Networks, we take our role in connecting, protecting, and monitoring businesses in Central Illinois very seriously. When you need us, we'll be there, with service that sets the standard. From access control and structured cabling to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363.
All right, welcome back, folks. This is the first ever Bulldog football preview show right here. We're live. We got some drills going on behind the 2-hour format with lots to talk about. We just talked to Chad. That was awesome, wasn't it?
It was great to hear their perspective. You know, we don't get a lot of time with them. You talk to the coaches a lot and the technical staff, but you don't get a lot of time with the players. It's good to see the main theme there with all of them is family, right?
We heard that a lot.
Yeah, we're united, the accountability. I forget what Coach called it, but I'll come back to it.
Yeah, no, it was neat to see them have very similar answers, which tells you maybe they're on the same page early here. But this is a season preview show. So we got to talk about the actual season, right?
Let's talk about the season. Let's just run through it.
Run through the old schedule.
Kind of just a brief recap. I don't want to spend too much time on the first game just yet. We all know what's coming there. But on August 26th, we have Morton. That's here at home.
Mm-hmm.
On September 2nd, we have Effingham at home.
And that's also Dogapalooza,
That's Dogapalooza.
On that second game.
September 2nd.
Yep.
Just a recap of last year, just for reference. It doesn't really matter. These are two different teams in different years with different players, right? So we've got Morton. That was the only loss of last year, 40-28. Effingham, 43-7 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Get out of here. Oh, we'll talk to him later probably. We got clowns in the background here, Ryan.
September 9th, we've got Mount Zion. That was a close one last year, 34-27.
We're on the road this year, aren't we, with them?
We're on the road this year, that's right.
Apollo Conference, foe.
And we've got Lincoln. That's at Lincoln. That was a 53-20 last year. That was a fun one.
Yep.
Charleston is at home on September 23rd. And then, what do you call them, QND? Is that what you call
Quincy Notre Dame.
Quincy Notre Dame.
We got to come here now.
We got to come here. And it's interesting to hear the players talk about how it was a steamroll, but they're not overlooking them.
Yeah, that was good to hear,
41-0
right?
last year. They're not taking that for granted. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Taylorville, we didn't play them last year, did we?
No, I think if I recall, there was some COVID issues still going on.
Okay.
And they didn't have enough players, if I remember right. So that'll be nice to see them coming.
That's at home on October 7th. Then we're getting into the good weather.
Oh, yeah, football time.
Parkas, snow, and rain.
Oh, baby.
And,
hopefully we'll have some heat in the booth. I don't know.
Well, we'll look. I'll bring a hat. Rounding it out, regular season, October 14th, Mattoon. That's at Mattoon.
That's an athletic bunch, Chad. I don't know if you remember them. We had them last year at our place. They were an athletic group.
They were, and I don't think the 19-0 reflected, their effort.
Yeah, it felt like a playoff game. That did.
It did. And then finally for regular season, October 21st, Bloomington at Bloomington. That was a 21-7 win last year.
And Bloomington is also, maybe I'm thinking of Bloomington, but another athletic group. Maybe I'm getting confused, but that was not an easy game. I think that was the mud game, if I remember right.
I'll take your word for it.
But
I barely remember my name those days.
As I say, I can't remember what I did yesterday, and I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, so I'm sure we're just totally botching that.
So we're going to talk to the coaches, some of the staff a little bit. a little bit later, but what's the game? To take Morton off the table for a second. But what's the game you're most looking forward to this year? Calling.
You know, if calling, I got two answers.
Okay.
Calling, I like Dogapalooza, whoever it is, because the atmosphere and the vibes are just different. Because you got all the inflatables, you got pork chops cooking, you got all these tents. It just feels like a big tailgate party atmosphere, and the energy is off the chains. And I thrive on that personally.
It's kind of like, that's game 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Effingham, right?
Yeah. I look forward to calling that game.
You have people coming out to that game that might or might not even actually come out. I mean, the whole community shows up.
Yeah.
You can't see it here, but this entire place is filled up with food and games and all kinds of stuff. And
It's just great energy.
Yeah. What's the second
part? The one game I want to see live is at Memorial Stadium, and it's the last one.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I mean,
that's state.
If I had it my way.
That's state.
Oh, that's state?
Yeah. I don't see that on
the
No, that's not on the schedule, so that has to be state.
Yeah. Well, if I had my way, that's the one I'd like to see them play in. How about you? What are you looking forward to?
Every single one. It's good to be a part of the program. We kind of geek out about it, but you really get a sense of how much is being put up into this program when you kind of get a look behind the scenes. You talk to the players offline. We talk to coaches. What are they doing? If you ask any of them, last year doesn't even exist. It's over.
Yeah, that's
only
good.
looking forward to the schedule this year. And you see some of these teams sometimes like, oh yeah, we're so good, we went this, but that's not this team.
Doesn't seem like it.
They
after
wash
talking
their
to them.
hands, and they're looking forward.
They're on a mission.
To 8:26 to kickoff.
Yeah, that's really, really exciting to hear for guys like us, right? 'Cause it's all about this year now, and this is 2 weeks away today.
I noticed you have a new shirt on. Is that?
Oh yeah. Well, you got the same shirt. We finally got some merch. That Bulldog. I don't think they can zoom in.
Nah, they probably can't.
Friday nights we'll show it. We cut something else up our sleeve too. Speaking of merch.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that, but we're going to have Coach Adkins here shortly, so we'll talk a little bit more about the schedule. But he's going to pop in any minute.
Well, some of the other, changes we're doing. We're kind of excited about this.
Oh yeah, let's talk.
Simon talked about it at the front end. They're investing in the program overall. Additional, communications equipment. We're going to have sideline reporters this year. Dan.
Oh boy.
Halftime reports as they're going out.
I feel like this is next level stuff.
I just got a text and I haven't checked it, but I'm pretty sure it's CBS Sports.
You think they're calling?
Well, someone just texted me. I would think it would be them.
I'm guessing they want the A-team, probably Simon, the whole crew.
Yeah. Well,
we all this.
And speaking of which, coming in here,
he's coming in hot. He's coming in hot too. Coach Atkins, he's coming right off the field, right to Bulldog TV. We got to be focused now because Coach is here and he's trying to run a practice and he's definitely come on over here to join us.
You know what? I got great assistance, so even though I'm over here, it's going to continue to run smoothly.
That's what we like to hear. Delegation.
Well, I'll kick this off real quick by saying, Coach, we are so excited that you embrace Bulldog TV, number one, because that makes it a lot easier for Simon, for the kids that run this thing, for us, Chad, myself, that you embrace this and you want to be a part of it, and you're okay with us being a bunch of hooligans sometimes.
Man, you guys do an awesome job first and foremost, but then on top of that, just what you can provide to our community. Sometimes people are traveling or can't make it to a game, or it's pouring down rain and they don't want to. I get it.
Yeah.
Again, you guys do an awesome job, and appreciate you and all the kids and all their hard work, and again, can't say enough good things about you guys, so appreciate it.
Well, there's too much love going on here, I guess. we need to get some beef with the questions. This is your fourth season in Mahomet. You've been coaching for what, 16 years?
Yeah, it's my 16th year.
So fourth season in Mahomet. Let's talk. Why don't you talk about that senior group, because that's the group that you started with. They came in as freshmen. Talk about them and what the significance of that is to you this year.
No doubt. I mean, anytime you get the opportunity to to see a group all the way through, right? You know, for all 4 years, it's just special, right? And again, we're kind of reaping the benefits of that right now. And, you know, these guys know what to do. They know how we practice. They know where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. And then on top of that, you know, our scheme and our system, you know, this is their 4th year, most of them, you know, in that scheme and system. And so it just helps, you know, again, when we're implementing things, when we're doing drills out here, you know, can't say enough good things about the senior class, number one, but then, you know, me being lucky enough to be here and see them all the way through. And I talk about it all the time, you know, that when I got here in year number 1 and we started to change the culture and the way of doing things, you know, unfortunately that first class was kind of the guinea pigs, right? And there was so much unknown at that time, unfortunately, and you know, those guys had to go through it. And again, we wouldn't be where we're at today without that first group. You know, the seniors, my first year here. So appreciate everything that they did, because again, they're one of the main reasons that you see the product that you see out on the field right now.
Right on.
Well, you've kind of alley-oop the next question, but the one thing we've met offside, talked just kind of about program philosophy, things like that, and you know, your leadership team set it up. So you guys, your entire coaching staff brings a different energy. You're not kind of like, hey, we hope we do. No, you're focused on one thing, and that's state this year, and you can see it in the players and everything that you guys are doing. Talk about that a little bit and what that does to just the overall program.
Yeah, and again, hats off to the staff. I mean, these guys are an awesome group of guys. Number one, they're great to be around, right? Like that's always enjoyable. But then on top of that, they work so hard in every task or you know, thing that this program asks of them. And again, they come to work. They do a great job. They bought in, right? And we talked about these kids, you know, and kind of setting the way and being here 4 years, but the coaching staff had to buy in too, because it was brand new from them from the first day that I got here. So again, they went through their growing pains and their changes, but again, I think you're seeing now, I'm over here, and I told you guys as soon as I sat down, I know it's going to run like a well-oiled machine over there, and that's a credit to those guys. Again, extremely blessed and lucky to have the staff that I have, and you know, again, I think it's kind of a top-down approach, right? These guys got energy because it's got to start with me, and it's got to come from me, and I'm running around the field, I'm picking up cones, I'm from one drill to the next, I'm encouraging the kids and the coaches. It's just the overall atmosphere that we all create that again, the kids buy into and they feed off of as well.
Well, I just insert just one thing that's not kind of on the script, but we talked about a little bit when we met a few weeks ago, is just how the energy of everything that you see here impacts downstream the kids who are just coming in, the Mahomet football or flag. They're here, that is your hope, I would assume. That energy, even if they're not immediately part of the program, brings them up through the program eventually.
Absolutely, you know, and we can say that it starts their freshman year when they get here, but it even starts before that. And our MSYFL program is doing a great job. We got over 110 kids in the program.
Jeez.
All 4 teams are individually now, you know, 5th all the way through up, and awesome. 35 kids on the 8th grade team. I mean, I could go on for days about how proud I am of what, you know, all those volunteers down there have done with that program. And again, most of those volunteers that kind of started it are sitting here behind you today, and they were a big part of the start of it, you know, and like I said, now the next group is just continuing to carry on the tradition and the energy, and again, you know, at the end of the day, success breeds success, and because of what our group last year was able to do, I think that's why you see some of those numbers rising down there at those lower levels.
Right on. Yeah, there's a ton of momentum definitely for the Bulldog football. Let's talk about a little bit, I don't want to talk too much about last year, but there are a bunch of key returners. We know that. A lot of juniors back. But talk about, you know, we lost guys like Yukon, Dream, Nolan, Mitchell, Smitty, and others. Talk about having your juniors back, what that means, but also talk about how you going to fill some of those guys, those senior names that you've lost.
And again, you know, the Remember the Titans quote, you know, you can never replace a Gary Bertier, and that's how I feel about some of those seniors, you know, just great kids, and we're going to miss them for sure, and I wish them the best. You know, 3 of them are going off to play college ball, and Nolan, Tyler, and Mitchell, again, extremely happy for those, and I know the other guys are going to go off and do great things as well. Smitty, you mentioned him. him. He's going down to Lakeland to play baseball.
Yep.
Just a great group of kids and a great class overall that I'm certainly going to miss. But again, they were a part of what you see out here on the field right now. They continued what we started 4 years ago. They kind of took it to the next level, so to speak, and set the expectation, you know. And you talked earlier about state. That's the expectation now, and it's because of that senior class last year and how they raised the bar to where it is. So again, extremely going to miss those guys and wish them all the best. But on the flip side, extremely blessed to be able to return, you know, 18 out of 22 starters. And again, it's one thing to return starters, but then to return the product of the starters that we have, you know, returning an all-state quarterback and obviously an honorable mention all-state linebacker. And then you throw Quentin in the mix, who should have been all-state, but kind of got snubbed a little bit there. But again, just incredible kids, number one. We talked about it being year 4. They know the system. So again, you know, I mentioned this to the newspaper the other day. We're doing things out here on day 3 and 4 that normally I don't get to till about week 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's a nice luxury.
Yeah, and again, it's a credit to those kids and the experience that they had. Shoot, some of them played, you know, when they were sophomores and gained 2 years of experience coming into this year. So again, extremely thankful for the seniors last year, but extremely blessed to be able to return, you know, all this experience out here on the field.
It's the experience is one thing, and there's no question you run an amazing program. There's not one person that could do it.
I appreciate that.
Talk about how blessed you feel to just have, you guys have some extreme athletic ability, just flat natural athletes. How important is that to just make the program shine and kind of bring all the pieces together?
And I love that you said athletes, you know, because there's not just one. And I know that Wyatt, Nick, and Quentin get the majority of the pub and the press and all this stuff. And again, they're great players, love them to death. But we also have some other hidden gems out there on this field right now. And again, some people know about them, some people don't, and they're going to find out about them.
We're not going to let you tip your hand. Don't worry.
I can't give away too much. But again, you know, whether it's role players, whether it's the leadership that we get from certain guys, you know, guys filling in roles. You know, McCain Didier, right? Again, an unsung hero, about to be a 3-year starter on the offensive line for us, just an absolute leader. And I could go on for days about the senior class as a whole, the experience, and then, like I said, some of those unsung heroes that we're going to hear about on Friday nights this fall. So
love it. Well, we talk a lot about energy and the energy that you bring and your coaching staff brings. And one of the things that is unique to the high school level, at least, is there's things that go on the sidelines that sometimes Bulldog TV can't see. But things like turnover chair. So talk a little bit about that. Why do you allow that?
Yeah.
Why is that important? Is there anything new maybe that we should expect? We had some players, they didn't want to give anything away.
I was just going to say, they want to keep that under wraps. As a matter of fact, they haven't even told me. Now, I did tell them before we walk out there on the 26th, I got to approve of this. But again, they're great kids, and I know it's going to be something special, and I can't wait to see it. But back to your question, you know, that's where the energy comes from. You know, it's fun, exciting things like that. Football is an absolute grind, and day in and day out, we ask these kids to do a lot of physical labor, hard work. The scouting report, I could go on for days. It's a demanding sport, and so we got to have the fun aspect in there to, again, not only create the excitement that you see out on the field on Friday nights and keeping the kids hype throughout, you know, play after play, but then again, wanting to come back to work, and again, that's part of that excitement, the energy that we talked about earlier. You know, I would say, you know, I'm a player's coach. Now, I'm hard on them, but they know that I love them harder than I am on them, if that makes sense. And so, again, I'm able to kind of flip that script and be that player's coach and let them do, you know, fun, kind of goofy things like that and their little crow dance that they do out there on defense.
Talk about that, because I see the chair, I hear the crow talk. What is the crow dance?
So, you know, last summer, we were having kind of a bad practice. It was dead. Energy was dead, right? It doesn't happen very often, but it happened. And it was kind of silent at the time. And sure enough, Crow comes flying over, and he's doing his Crow, you know, voice. I'm not even going to try to, I'll let the kids do that.
How's that going?
Yeah. So he comes flying over, and it was either Nick or Ethan Grimley or probably a bunch of them, right? They kind of saw it, and all of a sudden he started doing it, and it just kind of spread like wildfire throughout the entire defense. defense, you know, and next thing you know, our entire defense is doing it, and we got that energy back that we talked about, and so it just kind of continued over into the season and put a crow on the back of the turnover chair. And, you know, I will let you in on a little secret. This year we're getting crow decals. Yeah, so we're going to have some
we're going next level.
So that's one of the things I can, yeah, there you go.
T-shirt, Dan.
That's one of the things I can let you in on.
Maybe some merch, some bumper stickers.
I love it.
So the crow is living on now.
It is, no doubt.
It's not dead.
So your energy is not just, you know, kind of like in the off. What is your typical, it's Friday morning on any opponent. Walk us through your day. How are you preparing for that? How are you getting your staff prepared for that?
Yeah, well, and again, for us,
I got to go talk to Simon, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, for us, it starts, you know, it starts on Sunday night with our meeting. I mean, it even starts before that. Most of the time on the bus ride home on Friday nights, we're, you know, already diving into the film, and then carries over into Saturday when we kind of start our scouting and watching the film. And then we meet together on Sunday, kind of go through the whole game plan and make sure that we're all on the same page. We all feel good about, you know, what's gonna, you know, the product that's gonna take place on Friday, and then we kind of leave, you know, and I tell them, you know, go be with your families, enjoy that family time, because we don't get it much, you know, during the season. So as much as we can take advantage of that, we certainly try to, you know, and then it leads over into Monday, you know, and Monday we bring the kids in to lift and run and walk through the scouting report, make sure that they know and understand it. You know, Tuesday and Wednesday we'll go pretty hard in practice. Thursday we go morning walkthrough, kind of the rest aspect of that. I know not everybody does that, but we kind of love the idea, you know, that we're giving them ample amount of time of rest, so they come out on Friday as fresh as they can possibly be. So that's our Thursday morning walkthrough. Then Thursday evening we'll have our team meal, and then typically they kind of cross the road here and come out and watch, you know, our freshmen play if they're playing at home, or they go inside and watch the volleyball game if volleyball's at home, and then we get ready for Friday, and Friday, you know, is game day, and I could walk you through all of what we do on that, but that might take a little while because it's kind of a process. You know, kids show up about 5:15, and then we just go through our itinerary, and again, everything's kind of detailed out and laid out step by step. You asked about me personally, and I know it's a shocker, but I don't sleep much. It's
I knew we liked you for a reason.
It's tough for me to get sleep, and again, it doesn't matter if we're playing the #1 ranked team in state or the team that's 0-8 when we're in week 9. It's just how I approach everything. You know, I kind of have a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything, and that's just how I am, and I don't know any other way. Sometimes I want to relax and maybe, you know, sleep a little bit, but I can't. You know, I feel the need to give these kids my all, and if that means I'm watching film, you know, late at night trying to get that last minute adjustment or be ready for something that we might not see, I got to make sure that I do that for these kids. So yeah, you gotta be able to go to sleep to wake up. So, but by the time I'm finally up for the day, you know, then I try to keep myself as calm as possible. I love setting up the field on Fridays, believe it or not. It's kind of like my time that I can be to myself and ride on the gator and throw my music in, and again, just kind of be at peace and keep myself as calm as I can. So,
and then literally going to ask, like, what do you do to distract?
Yeah.
You know, what do you do to balance?
Thank God we have school. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I love having something to do, because you guys know me. I got to be doing something, and so thank God we have school. But when school's out, yeah, then I twiddle my thumbs until the kids show up at 5:15.
Are you a coffee guy, a Red Bull guy, Mountain Dew, or do you not?
I don't get the sense he doesn't need anything.
I feel like it's like, why he's pounding water or something.
No,
Powerade.
I need it. I do need it, because again, when you don't sleep, you gotta have something keeping you going. But I used to be a Mountain Dew guy. Now I've kind of moved on to the Monster Energy drinks. This sugar free, of course.
Of course, yeah. You don't allow that.
I'm trying to watch my health.
We need to talk about a new sponsor, apparently. Monster.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So
we saved the toughest one for last, right? Dan talked about the schedule a little bit earlier. First up, last out, first in, Morton this year. We heard a rumor that the day after that game, something went up on the wall in the locker room. What is that?
No doubt. The score of the game, and then we put the clock up that counts down the time and days to when we get to face them again. And again, it's been factor for us this entire. The kids, every time they come through, they see Morton on their wall, and they see the count, and it's ticking. It's almost here, and they know that, and they're excited for that opportunity. But you can better believe before we walk out on that field on Monday or on Friday the 26th, I'm gonna throw that score up there. Make them remember, and not that I have to, because I can guarantee you they all know, and they're ready to go. I wish we could play tomorrow. So do these kids. But luckily for us, we get some more time to continue the wait, right? Be more hungry than we are now. And again, extremely excited for that opportunity on the 26th. Now, I know they lost, their hero running back, but trust me when I say they're a great program.
Oh, yeah.
Tim does an awesome job with those guys, and they're going to come here ready to play. They return some key pieces, offensive linemen, couple linebackers, huge tight end who's a stud. I could go on. Again, Tim does a great job with that program, and they're going to come here ready to play. But I have a feeling the boys behind me are. I won't have to say anything to them before we go out on that field. They're ready to go.
Am I making this up? And this is, we know you got a practice run, so we'll let you run after this. But is there an added energy because it is the first game and you don't have to wait 5 weeks in, we have that distraction in the first 4 games? Is there something to that?
No doubt. I mean, we go all summer and all August here beating on ourselves, and it's awesome to finally get to do it against somebody else. And so whether it's Morton in this case or anybody else, there's always that extra added excitement for that week 1, and on this case, home opener, right? So now we get to share it, with our fans and our community, and again, just excited for this opportunity and can't wait. How about that?
That's great. Coach Adkins, thank you so much.
Appreciate
you, man.
Awesome,
Thanks
guys.
for the time.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to August 26th.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Appreciate
Coach,
everything you guys
do us
do.
a favor and send old Coach Burner
You
over
got
if
it.
you could.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, we'll take a quick break, reset. Coach Burns on the way. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back here. We're live. We're at Frank Dutton Field. It's Bulldog football time.
Jackson Construction and Restoration is a family-owned and operated company specializing in residential and commercial services. We have been serving Central Illinois for over 20 years. If you want to remodel a room, restore a deck, or even start fresh with a new house, Jackson is there. And in the times of need after any fire or storm damage, our team of experts is there to help you rebuild or restore your home. Call now for an estimate on your next project.
The Mahomet-Seymour High School Athletic Boosters are proud to continue their support of 20 sport programs that make up MSHS Bulldog Athletics. They thank you for your continued support, and go Bulldogs!
For 150 years, you've believed in Busey. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family for generations. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868.
At D1 Networks, we take our role in connecting, protecting, and monitoring businesses in Central Illinois very seriously. When you need us, we'll be there, with service that sets the standard. From access control and structured cabling, to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363.
Jackson Construction and Restoration is a family-owned and operated company specializing in residential and commercial services. We have been serving Central Illinois for over 20 years. If you want to remodel a room, restore a deck, or even start fresh with a new house, Jackson is there. And in the times of need after any fire or storm damage, our team of experts is there to help you rebuild or restore your home. Call now for an estimate on your next project.
The Mahomet-Seymour High School Athletic Boosters are proud to continue their support of 20 sport programs that make up MSHS Bulldog Athletics. They thank you for your continued support, and go Bulldogs! For
150 years, you've believed in Busey. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family for generations. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868.
At D1 Networks, we take our role in connecting, protecting, and monitoring businesses in Central Illinois very seriously. When you need us, we'll be there, with service that sets the standard. From access control and structured cabling to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363.
A minute to breathe. Live.
You're good. You're hot.
Are we going? We good?
We're back.
All right. Back from commercial. Got a new guest here, Coach Berner, offensive coordinator. Thanks for joining us here.
My pleasure. Thanks for
taking
having
a
me.
little bit of break. I told Dan, hey, let me take this. Well, first of all, it had nothing to do with the interview. I want to know, how do we get some of this merch?
Oh, I don't know. You got to talk to the head man about that. That's above my pay grade.
Well,
Those
why
are
don't you
pretty
give me that?
sweet,
I'll
though.
wash it and just take. All right, let's keep going. Mike, this your 12th year in the program, is that right? 11th?
Just as a coach or player and coach?
Both. I want to talk about both of them.
I think this will be 9, 4. No, this is my 17th. I played for 4. I coached for 4 around college. Then I had to take a couple years off. And then I came back, and this is my 9th season, I believe. So I'm going to turn 34 this October, so half of my life has been in
How about that?
football. So.
That's awesome.
How has this game changed? Like, I'm going to make an assumption. I don't know, but when you were playing, the programs you were, how does the entire game changed? I'm just from the outside looking at it, looks like we run a lot more pro style as opposed to just an old,
Yeah.
You're running trip. I mean, you're doing all kinds of packets. How does that just change in the whole game?
Honestly, at the high school level, you see it more, especially in college and pros right now. But at the high school level, I mean, my freshman year, Derek Leonard, who's the head coach at Rochester now, was the offensive coordinator at Prairie Central. And they used to be in our conference then, and they were 5 wide. They were throwing it all over the place, more so than he actually does now at Rochester even. So it's just one of those things where it's cyclical in some ways with scheme, but even so, you got to kind of fit teach what you know and what fits your kids, Even like within our conference, Mattoon is still 2 back, 1 tight end. Effingham is still 2 back, 1 tight end. Lincoln plays with 3 back. So it's all, it just depends on what you believe in. In my opinion, you can win. You see it at the state championship this year. Grove played with 2 tight ends and you could have killed everyone with 1 hand grenade. But they played East St. Louis, who had guys spread from sideline to sideline, and they both made it to the state championship game.
So it's a different game.
Yeah, it's what you know and what you can coach your kids up, and you got to know how to fix your system, right? But really the game, to me, schematically there's some changes, but it's very cyclical. To me, football is all about the basics, as it has been forever. Who's blocking? Okay, who's tackling? Who's executing what they're supposed to do? Those things are what really matters. Kind of like that example we just gave with Cary Grove and East St. Louis, right? 2 completely different schemes, but they're getting their basics done, and it's taking them far.
So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but it is setting up some questions. So last year, you guys set all kinds of records. 4,700 yards total offense, 69 TDs, almost 40 points a game. Do you feel a sense of, self-pressure to duplicate that, or do the records mean nothing and it's all about the W?
For me, it's all about the W's, honestly. That's fun, and I like our kids having those stats and having success. But to me, I would rather win the state championship and score 7 points a game because our defense is so good.
Dang it, Berner, I love you.
I would be happy. I'd be frustrated throughout the year that we're only scoring 7 points a game. I would want better from our offense, but as long as we're hoisting that trophy at the end of the year, I don't care if it's 100 points a game or 2, and we beat everybody 2-0.
I'm going to say something to you, and there's 4 words that go with it. What do they mean? Family strong.
So, yeah, that's kind of our core pillars. So we have accountability, character, effort, and discipline, and that's just kind of what we want our program to be built on. Okay, we want our kids to be accountable to each other, to our coaches, to their teachers, to their families at home. We want them to have a strong character, do the right thing in the classroom, on the field, when they're at home. Effort, I mean, that's pretty basic, right? Give great effort all the time. And again, the same thing. All of these are about football and not football, right? Are they giving great effort in the classroom? Are they giving great effort at home when their mom or dad or whoever they live with asks them to do something? When they go out and mow the lawn, are you giving great effort or not? Are you doing a crappy job so that you try and get fired from it? Because I think I remember doing that as a kid, but right, we should be trying to give good effort in everything we do, and then discipline. Are you disciplined enough to show up every morning at 7:20 for 0-hour PE? Are you disciplined enough to stay in your playbook at night and do what you need to do so that this team can reach the goals that we have set?
Tell us what goes into like the planning week to week without giving the secret sauce, right? But how does your strategy change with the changing opponents? You talked about different teams running all kinds of different packages and defense. I mean, they're coming out. And Nick, like, how does your strategy change from week to week?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of it will depend on the other team, right? And I mean, we have our core philosophies that we believe in, but we can kind of tweak and change and turn this knob and push this button depending on what the other team does. So we usually start with self-evaluating from the night before on Friday night, what we did well, what we didn't, do we need to make any changes? Then we start breaking down in film. We kind of go through every formation and try and see how they line up. In footballs, there's kind of 15 spots on the field to defend, but you only have 11 defenders. So where are those 4 open spots, and how can we take advantage of them? And then we kind of look at their players, right? And we don't necessarily care about the middle. It's who's the stud that we might have to figure out a game plan for, or that we really have to worry about, and who's their kid who maybe they're trying to hide him out there at the left side corner or middle linebacker. And then, okay, now how can we take advantage of that, the fact that they're trying to hide that kid? How can we figure out how to make him not be hidden and take advantage of him?
I wasn't gonna. Go ahead, Dave.
I got a quick one because I got to go back to this. You've been a part of Bulldog football for half your life.
Yep.
That rang a bell with me. Like, why? I know that's a very open-ended question, and you may not know the answer, but
I mean, I love the game of football. It's very fun to me. I mean, a lot of my best friends are guys I played, still to this day, are guys I played high school football with. So that's obviously something special to me. It's meant a lot. I think it was, as a kid, it was something I was good at, and it gave me a lot of confidence and kind of self-assuredness and helped me become the person I am. I had great coaches. Coach Schallenberger was my head coach back then. He was a great guy.
And you guys had a heck of a year, right?
My sophomore and junior years, we were really good.
Yeah.
My sophomore year was like Grant Risley, Jordan Abdelhak, Kess, Bodie, Ryan Dubnicek, some of those guys, and they went under basically the same season we had last year, 11-0, lost in the quarterfinals. My junior year, we lost our first game to Prairie Central, won every game until the semis, and lost in overtime 9-6 to Newton. So that's still a town I don't like.
Sorry, I got off the cusp.
That's fine.
That's good.
What are you most excited about with this year's players? The people who are going to be on the field on 8/26.
Yeah, we got a great group of kids. We're a little deeper this year, a little more flexible with some things. We got guys competing for multiple starting spots still, which is really exciting. And sometimes you have that happen because you don't have a good answer. This year we have it because we have more than one good answer. And so it's not, okay, who's good enough? It's who's excelling to maybe pull out that starting position. But I'm just most excited to see the kids succeed and have fun. And we'll always kind of focus on execution. And as long as we do that, we have enough talent that they make it easy for me. I just got to put them in decent spots to show off what they can do. So I'm just excited about the strides we've made. We've had a great summer. Shout out our offensive line guys, Mitchell Gilbert, McCain, Tyson Finch, Marshall Bacher, Colton Medcapoulis, and Cole Morgan. They're coming along nice. Had a good summer. I'm excited about what those guys can do for us.
We were really excited to hear that leadership group. Marshall Bacchus was really impressive, some of his answers.
Yeah.
And
he has come so far since, I think he moved here when he was a sophomore. I'm pretty sure it was when he moved here.
Very much confident.
Yes, he's come a long way.
Quiet confidence.
Yep, he's come a long way in the last 12 months. he did it. I mean, unfortunately, Tyler Eukin got hurt midway through last year, and so that brought Marshall up into the starting lineup, and he did a nice job for us and really helped us in that playoff run.
You talked about injuries, and, we had Luke Johnson out early last year.
Yep.
And, the consensus was, Luke Johnson's out. You guys pulled it together, and you really still had a very strong running team, and you had options available. What does it mean to have even more options this year?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it'll be great to have Luke back. A young man named Nolan Nierenhausen did a great job stepping in for us last year. He was a kid who he was a program kid, man. He started at corner, his junior year, started at receiver last year. We had to move him to running back. And, I mean, he had almost 200 yards in that rainy, crappy game against Mattoon. Stepped up, had a big catch, was running well. And, I mean, he's an incredibly smart kid. He's going to Rose-Hulman to study engineering and play football. But luckily he was so smart because he was able to transition right from receiver to running back without missing a beat. And
so dang engineers, it gets you every time.
But for this year, I'm excited because, we got Luke back now. We got some receivers that we can bring in and run some jet sweep stuff with and get a little misdirection going with that. And then, of course, we have Diesel where we can get some of our defensive guys involved.
We love calling the Diesel plays.
That's fun.
You and me both.
Yeah. Last question.
You touched on real quick. You touched on some injuries, but you got Ryan Yancey that's coming back from an injury.
Yeah, on the defensive side.
Oh yeah, he's on the defensive. We'll talk to Coach Turek.
I'm happy to talk to you about him. But I'll save that one.
You can talk about Luke maybe and the importance of having him back.
Yeah, I mean it's huge. He's a great running back, and the awesome thing about him is he's dual threat. He's got some of the best hands on the team, so we can get him involved out of the backfield and things like that as well. And yeah, I'm excited to have him back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're glad you brought up the offensive line. Dan and I talk about it a lot. We don't give them enough credit. It's great to have a Bond back there or a Luke Johnson, but they're only as good as the people up front.
Absolutely.
So it's glad to have you.
As a former center, I'm always trying to live up on those
offensive
line
line
guys.
Okay, now we definitely need to pay attention to
we
it.
know why you started off with the line.
Last question, we'll let you get back. What are you doing when you're not involved in football?
Well, my amazing fiance had me building an in-ground pool in our backyard this summer.
Well, no wonder your forearms are like Popeye. Was it by hand?
Oh, well, I had somebody come and dig out with an excavator, but everything else was me and a couple of very good friends that I have, Grant Risley and Jeff McDonald. Shout out, fellas, for all the help this summer.
So we're going swimming after this.
Sounds
not quite done yet. We're
we gotta
everything's up and running. We just gotta get the concrete going around the outside.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait till next year. Coach Berner, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Best of luck this season.
Good luck this season.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
coming over.
Yep.
Send Coach Turek over if you can.
Right there already.
Oh, he's queued up. That's all right. Chris is on it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Coming in, defensive coordinator.
Hey.
You want to take it?
We'll take it. I need my questions.
Oh, well.
See, this is
Coach,
live.
come on in.
This is yours. Hey, we're live, guys. Thank you, Chad. So
Nothing happens easy here.
Nothing happens easy.
Coach, welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show.
All right.
The first ever Bulldog preview show.
Yeah, this is an honor.
So we've got Coach Turek. Coach Turek, tell the folks at home, what is your role for the program?
So I am essentially the defensive coordinator. The way we do our defense, we kind of break up responsibilities. So my primary responsibility is what we call the box, and that would be the linemen and linebackers. And then Coach Murphy, he pretty much handles the secondary, our corners and our safeties. We work everything, works together in orchestra. But my focus is more on that, and his is more on the back end.
Right on, right on. So you've been a part of Bulldog football for quite a while, haven't you? Talk about how long have you been here, and what brings you back each and every year?
Oh, well, that's a great question.
Is it the big salary?
Yeah, it's
Burner's pool.
Strictly, yeah. Well, yeah, Burner. Yeah, with Coach Adkins and Coach Burner both having pools now, that does help.
You're gonna have to step your game up. Apparently.
Well, they told me I have to get a pool, and I'm like, I don't, because you two do. So,
yeah, exactly.
No, I've been here. This will be my 17th season at Mahomet, my 18th season coaching altogether. And I started under Coach Schallenberger. He hired me right over in the Alt-Ed building. I remember the interview. I wasn't sure if I had the job or not, but hired me. I worked at the freshman defensive coordinator for a long time with Coach Dale Diskin. I'm sure people that have been around the program remember Coach Diskin. Great guy to work with. And then, when Coach Pogue took over, I was at the freshman, I was at the JV, working around, and then with Coach Atkins, I took over the JV, and then the next year he moved Bernard to offense, and I slid right into the defensive role. So
that brings me to a kind of a spin-off question. You've seen a lot of different head coaches. You've been around longer than anyone, I think, on the program. In the program, well,
Coach Pogue's been around longer.
Oh yeah,
so,
Coach Pogue still
he's
he's special teams coordinator, right? And
quarterback
whisperer,
absolutely right.
All these other things.
He's the sage. So he's.
But between the two of you guys, like, how is Bulldog football? What role is it in the community, and what is through that time?
Well, you know what, and this is something, and kind of going off to one of your questions you asked earlier about why I stick around.
Yeah.
I mean, Bulldog football is special, and I'm from a community. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. I went to a school that ironically it's named after a football coach, Amos Alonzo Stagg, coach at the University of Chicago for a long time, but was kind of historically not known for having a good football team. My class, we kind of tried bringing things back, but it was kind of the success was the exception, and here in Mahomet, success is the rule, right? And I'd say that every year, regardless of when we were in the Corn Belt and we were a smaller school to now we've gone up in size. We're a 5A team. We're playing bigger schools, not just in the regular season but in the playoffs. The expectations for Mahomet is not like, hey man, it would be great if we made the playoffs, or it'd be great if we had we beat this team or we won this game. Hope we win homecoming. It's never been that. And I came from a program that was like that. Well, that's where I played, where I coached for a year. And in Mahomet, it's always, all right, we're always looking down the road. Coach Pogue said this, and we kind of adopted it last year, is November Lights. We want to play, right, in October and November Lights. That's what we're playing for. You gotta win some games to do that. So, and that's kind of the mentality we have, and that's what makes it special.
And that's addictive, and that's kind of that's probably why you keep coming back, right?
It is. Yeah. It is. I will say, that, and then we have an awesome coaching staff. Just great guys to be around. We hang out a lot outside of football, but most of the time when we're hanging out, we end up talking about football anyways. So it doesn't matter if we're hanging out, Coach Atkins' pool. All of a sudden, somebody's going to pull out a marker board or pulling up some film, and we're going to be looking at something eventually. Our wives probably don't love that all the time, but and then we just have great kids. We have a great community, and this is special, right? I mean, what we get to do here is we get to coach, and our kids are coming. Our parents, and it's not always just the parents of a particular kid, but sometimes one mom will say, I could drive these 3 freshmen, or, I'll make sure that there's a meal or there's something afterwards. And it's awesome because then we don't have to worry about, well, where's so-and-so, how come we couldn't get to practice? And we have to say, hey, whatever. The parents take care of so much stuff. So it really just allows us to focus on football, which is great.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. From the Gridiron Club all the way to the Booster Club to Hensley and the administration.
Absolutely.
We're pretty fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
So you talked a little bit about what you do in your free time. Talk about, besides walking your dog at Bridal Leash Park, because I see you there a lot, what do you like to do in your free time besides talk football?
I don't know if I have much free time these days. So I have a 4-year-old and I have an 8-month-old.
Yeah, you don't have free time.
I do not have free time, right?
So you have football and diapers.
I have football and diapers, and I have a wife that needs a break. So I try really hard. Our wives, football wives is that's a tough job. There's a lot of times where we're just like, hey, I got to go up to the field, and what time do you be home? Maybe 9, maybe 9:30. We'll see. There's a lot of that, and then a lot of the parenting roles get shifted and whatever. So when I do have free time, I try to do something with my son. I try to take him out of the house. My 4-year-old, the 8-month-old is just pretty happy sitting on the floor playing with some keys right now.
Nice.
So that's awesome. But I try to take him. We go to the library a lot. We read a lot of books. We go for walks. Mahomet's a great community. There's always some place you can take a kid, and so many playgrounds and parks. So that's what I do a lot with him, and then pretty much the rest is not free time. So that's about it. Walking the dog, and as you said,
that's some therapy time.
Yeah, it is. I have a very high-strung dog who needs at least 2 walks a day. So I'm around Bridal Leash Park a couple times. He's my fitness trainer. Keeps me moving even when we're out of the season. So
get them steps in.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, you're the D coordinator, so let's talk defense.
All right, absolutely. Let's hear.
We hear, and you could touch on whoever you want. It doesn't matter, but we hear all about Nick Golden and all these guys. But talk about your unit as a whole. Certainly highlight who you want to, but what tell us about your defense this year as opposed to last year.
Well,
what's new? What's different? What are you excited for?
And you know what? It's just really, really awesome. So this year is kind of the culmination of the last three. 3 years ago, we had that COVID-shortened season, that six-game season in the spring. We started a lot of younger guys, right? So Mateo Casillas, Nick Golden are going to be sophomores on the team right now. Seniors on the team right now.
Sure.
They started as sophomores. Jack Gallier started as a freshman, right? So in the box, those guys have been there, right, for 3 years together.
That's a big deal,
right? And that's awesome, right? Ryan Yancey.
Oh yeah.
He's coming off an injury, right? But he played a good amount his sophomore year on varsity, right? And then played a ton last year until his injury, unfortunately. So there's just a ton of experience there.
Yep.
And then in the secondary, it's the same. We lost 3 seniors off our team from last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were all great guys, great impact guys, and it's hard to replace an Ashton Heiser or a Mitchell Gallier or Logan Petro, but I think we can kind of do it in the aggregate, right? Everyone steps up a bit, and then we got some good pieces coming in.
We heard about this.
So
don't show your hand just yet,
right?
but
So yeah, we got a couple of guys that weren't on the team last year that came out for football this year, and they're pretty physical, pretty fast, and they get after it. We had a move in, which is always great to have, and gave us some depth, right? So there's guys. We're very fortunate when we go to our second team. I got to have guys that are experienced. It's not
That's a big deal.
not sophomores, whatever. If we have to, and somebody gets banged up or we have a helmet issue, we got to throw somebody in. I'm throwing in a senior or a junior, right? A lot of the time, and that's just awesome. So.
Well, we talked to Atkins about that earlier. Just, it seems from the outside, if you just look at statistics, let's say, you've got a Gallier, you've got a it looks, they're not. You guys are actually way deeper than statistics show. You got a lot of talent up and down that bench.
We do, and this is really a credit to a lot of our second team guys. I'm going to point a guy like Ethan Harrell. Ethan Harrell's moved around a lot, offense, defense, moved a couple of positions on defense, and he's a senior right now. And it would be very easy for a kid, and I'm not saying this is Ethan, but I'm saying, sometimes in some programs you'll see a kid that's a senior and he doesn't see a role for himself. Ethan's right now, he's behind Jack Gallier and Mateo Casillas, and that's a tough place to be. But he's working every day to learn that position, and he's a positive influence. He's helping out younger guys. He's learning from the guys that are more experienced than him, and it's just great. I talked to him the other day. I said, we're going to be in a game where maybe the game is decided, right? And keeping our starters in is not going to necessarily benefit us, and we don't want to risk them. It's just awesome to be able to throw a senior in there who understands and accepts his role and is ready to be there. And God forbid something happens, he'll be willing to step up if somebody gets banged up. So that's just. That depth it's something that we didn't quite have last year. Last year, if I remember, Peoria Richwoods, we kind of got up on them early. We subbed guys in, and we kind of threw a lot of guys, sink or swim, and we were putting sophomores against their juniors, seniors. The way they ran kind of a unique old school triple option offense, which those of us been around the game for a while, we're familiar with it, but our younger guys, we don't see a ton of that anymore. They spaced us out well. They got their speed base, and we had some guys maybe a little small, a little young, a little inexperienced, and then all of a sudden we had to go, all right, let's put the starters back in. And this year I think we're going to be able to maintain anything we got going with the first group when the second group goes in there.
That's a nice luxury.
It's absolutely a nice luxury.
And one thing I want to bring up too that we haven't talked about, I kind of wish next time we get Atkins, we'll ask him too, but I want to get your opinion. We do something in Mahomet with the platoon style. That's not it's not common, I would say, in our class or our conference.
Yeah.
What does that do for you as a defensive coordinator? How does that help you or hurt you? Or?
Well, you know what, and we just love it, and we're very fortunate. I think that there's just a ton of benefits, and one of them is I think in a sport right now, which is struggling sometimes, you see teams like Urbana and you see teams like Fisher having to cancel their varsity season. And we're in a situation where I believe we have 22 seniors out. We have a lot of sophomores. I mean, our numbers are as good as they've ever been here in Mahomet, and I think that is a testament to that. So Coach Berner, Coach Adkins, and I had a conversation a couple years ago about, hey, let's try to get as much two platooning as possible and all of that, and what it's allowed is it allows all those kids to have buy-in, right? So if your best offensive lineman is also your best defensive lineman and he's playing both ways, well, then your second best or your third best kid goes, well, I got to wait. I'm never going to play over this guy. Maybe he gets tired and the second guy goes in a little bit, but I'm the third guy. I'm not going to be there. Marshall Bacher, he's a great example of what two platooning did. So Marshall was not a starter last year at the beginning of the season, right? And then unfortunately Tyler Eukin suffered a knee injury. He was done, and Marshall was next man up. And since he had a season of just working offensive line, we were able to put him in there, and then we went to the third round of the playoffs. We had running clock on the last two our last two victories of the season, with a kid who if we were everybody plays both ways, all that, he's a kid that he wouldn't have been ahead of, Jack Gallier, who was playing on defense, or a Mateo Casillas, right? And then he wouldn't maybe not have had that opportunity to grow and get him there. So there's just so many positives to the boys, so many positives to the team. From a coordinator's point, it allows us to just do more things better. Yep. We do a lot. Coach Berner on offense, I struggle to follow the offense. All right, my first year, I was like, I'm not even going to try to learn the offense. I'm just going to learn the defense when Coach Adkins came in here, right? And then I was like, all right, my second year I'll start learning. And I know bits and pieces, but then he's always adding stuff and changing things.
Well, he doesn't want to tell you too much because he wants to show you.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have.
Not only that, he doesn't want you showing up at the pool unannounced.
we asked the leadership group who was better, offense or defense. We got some interesting answers.
Oh, well, I don't know what they said, but I know it's defense. But
I was going to say, what's your answer?
No.
What's your title again?
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate everything you do. I mean, one of the things that you hit that I, as a parent and an outside person, the specialization that it allows, the platooning, just gives players empowerment, right? So they have that role. They know what the role is. They're not confused about their role. And I think that really shows up on the football field.
Well, and I'll take your son for an example, right? He came out, didn't play his sophomore year, right? Had an injury. Didn't play his sophomore year, came out his junior year. And instead of him trying to learn receiver and, corner, he was able to just focus on corner and get really good at corner and help us a tremendous amount there at corner, opposed to trying to keep, all right, what do we do? And a lot of times, and I played, back in the day when we did offense and defense, and you tend to specialize, anyways. I might be, first string on offense and second string on defense. I'm really just going to focus more on offense. So you're wasting reps. You're dividing your practice time. So it just allows these guys for 2 hours. We come out here and we practice, and that kid for 2 hours is focusing on just getting good at one thing instead of saying, all right, we're going to do a little bit of this. And you know what? Yeah, you're a wide receiver, but we might also have you play some slot. So you're going to be in two different positions. Now, we might look at it as playing one spot, but now you're learning two different spots of on offense and another one on defense, and it just clarifies all that for us.
It's a big deal.
Is there one series from last year, just one series that's really still in your craw?
Oh gosh, I mean,
putting you on the spot here.
Well, it's really hard, to get past the Morton game, and there was a couple of times in the Morton game where I felt that we, had things gone a little bit differently. We would have forced, them to punt or turn the ball over on downs. And that was a close game, right? And if one thing changes early on and I don't want to get into specifics. I don't want to necessarily, say, this kid or that kid was in the right spot or whatever. And I think we had, we were successful last year because our kids knew what they were supposed to do, and they executed at a high level all year. And then we went up against a very, very good running back and very, very good coaching staff in Morton that knew what they wanted to do, knew where their strengths were, and knew how to take advantage of. We're a very aggressive defense. We're very aggressive, and they kind of knew how to take advantage of that. Or maybe not take advantage of that, but maybe force us, into a bad position and take us out of our away from what we want to do, right? So when we kind of turned up ratcheted up the aggression, right? They had some answers to that, and it kind of put our kids to now they had to go to their next thing, right? So first, hey, I'm gonna come hard off the edge, or I'm gonna try to penetrate up the B gap or whatever, right? Well, now we gotta sit back and read it and all that, and that was something that's more of a preparation thing, and that's where I focus on. When Morton took our best punch and then was able to counter off of that, right? I hadn't done enough to prepare our boys for that, and that's what sticks with me from that game. So if that answers
I'm going to
your question.
make an assumption that has been addressed. I can see it in your face.
Well, yeah. So
we get to put it to test here in about 2 weeks.
Well, we changed up a few things. We've modified our defense, and a lot of it was because Coach Adkins always talks about he's trying to beat himself, and Coach Adkins is like it could be January whatever, 9 p.m., and Coach Adkins is going to text me a picture of a formation and a play and just be like, how would you defend this, right? And
keeping you on your toes.
He does, right? And he's just always working and trying to beat us. He's trying to say, okay, if I was going up against our defense, what would I do to try to beat them if I was going up against our offense? And he's always pushing us, Coach Berner, myself, and all the other assistants to always step it up. And this year, and this is kind of a weird story, but my youngest son, he's doing really well now, but he got a respiratory virus. He had to go into the hospital for about 5 days. Once he got into the hospital, he was stable and everything was good. It was just a matter of kind of getting him good enough to go home. So I was in the hospital. My wife and I were in the hospital with him for about 5 days. And he couldn't pick him up. He was laying in the bed. So I had a lot of downtime, and I attended some online coaches clinics. My wife got a little mad at me when I was up at the marker board that the nurses used to drawing up some stuff.
You erased the medicine he needed.
Right? No, they didn't have anything. They had two. They weren't using that one. So, but she's like, are you working on football? And I was like, yeah. And I watched some online clinics, and I picked up a few things, and I was able to revamp a little bit of our defense and do some stuff that I wish we had in last year. And I think it would have been a solution to some of the problems we had, especially against Morton. So,
well, Coach, don't beat yourself up too much here. Now, we had a heck of a season. You deserve a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the season ahead. And we got Morton week 1. So.
We got, and it's almost like a movie, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
Or yeah, right. It's almost like, all right. Well, last year, Morton ended. We went there. They ended our season, our great run, and we don't have to wait long for another bite at the apple. So we'll get to see him here in about 13 days. So
you got it.
Not that we're counting.
But
yeah.
I feel like you probably need to get back to coaching. I
There's
don't know.
probably something I should be doing right now.
They're
probably
probably needing their DC. So
all right. Well, thank you guys very much.
Coming on.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Good
I
luck
appreciate
this
it.
season.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Right. Chad, I think we need to bring in the newest Bulldog TV.
Oh, I think we do. I see him standing right over there. Let's bring in Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts. Nope, not yet, Chris.
Come on, Chris.
Come on. You're up. Put that headset on. We're live here, Bulldog TV Nation, and we appreciate you at home coming to visit and live stream this first ever Bulldog preview show. I think I heard, Chad, that there was at least 10,000 viewers right now.
It was just over. Just over.
We just went over the 10,000 threshold.
Yeah.
So.
Chris, first of all, thank you for helping out today. You've done a tremendous amount of work. We love having you on here.
We love Chris.
Here's what I'm excited about. We got a few minutes before we wrap up this, but Chris, tell everyone what you're going to be doing to help out Bulldog TV this year.
Well, you guys asked me to be a sideline reporter when Coach Adkins comes off the field right before intermission, and just asked about a 30-second segment, and then so I'm looking forward to that. So I appreciate the opportunity to do that. So looking forward to that.
Chris, we talked about earlier with Coach with Simon that we're expanding Bulldog TV thanks to Simon, and you will be the official first ever Bulldog TV sideline reporter for football that I'm aware of.
Maybe even the state of Illinois. I don't know, but for sure here in Mahomet.
Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts going to be the Chris Roberts halftime show. Chris, you've been involved for a long time in youth sports around the community. You've seen some of these guys that were in youth sports now be in the top team. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, almost all of them here on the field today. It's just youth football. It starts with where they are now, learning all the plays, the fundamentals of football, and great coaches, with the players along the way, and then here they are today, kicking off their high school career. So, which is pretty cool,
Chris being humble like normal, but he's heavily involved, or for years was heavily involved with Mahomet-Seymour youth football, and
which is really the planting ground for what you see here today.
Yeah, it starts. I'm gonna have a little plug. It starts in Park and Rec, right? They start at flag football about first grade, then they kind of graduate to that tackle, and that's when it gets to be more of a feeder, right, to this program. But Chris also involved with flag football, but. I think he's got something named after.
I was going to say, you have
I feel like
you have a reward named after you, don't you?
I don't.
I don't.
No, I don't. I think I've got like a porta potty somewhere, maybe.
That's in my backyard.
Wrote my name on.
But this guy, there's an award named after him.
There's a Chris Roberts Sportsmanship Award, isn't it?
There he is.
Do you know what it's called? Chris, talk about that and what it means to you.
Well, I'm humble about it, and I appreciate I getting at that. But there's a lot of great people that surround me. It makes me better too. So a lot of great people in this community. But it's really an honor, and I appreciate getting that. That's what
that's a big
have
deal.
the rest of my life. So
each
to look at that
year,
each day.
Some football player from the tackle program. Gets this award, and I believe it's for sportsmanship and just the energy and all that character that you brought to the kids and to the coaches and to this community. So that's a pretty big deal.
It is. Well, I love it too. It's just awesome. It's great to have football back, and it's great. You guys are doing a great job with Bulldog TV and the crew that helps set us. All the crew of that. It was a first-time annual thing for doing this, and I think it's gonna happen.
We might even have a drape next year or something.
There you go.
We've got a couple more minutes. I see them lining up for the annual thing here. Chris, what are you most excited about as you look at this year's team?
Just bring the seniors coming back, and then you got the juniors, and then sophomores, and then incoming, the freshmen too with their team. But I think it's going to be the last game at the playoff game against
Morton.
That was a tough loss, but they're going to build on this. And the first game is against Morton coming up in a couple weeks, and that's it's payment time. And I think they're going to get it done. They're going to have a good season.
Payment is due. They say.
The line is going to be strong again. The running game's going to be good. I think passing is going to be great. The defense all around, all cylinders is going to be tough again. Now this coaching staff's going to, have them ready for the first game against Morton.
We had a pre-production meeting last night, which you were at.
That was fun. That was
fun.
Now, don't mention any names because there's other people watching this show. But you've even noticed some I would say untypical players that you might not see at the top of the roster coming up and are going to make a big impact.
Exactly.
This team's pretty deep this year.
There are.
Even at the JV level, you see some guys coming up.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, talk about JV and freshmen, because you know those players better than Chad and I and most people that are watching probably. Talk about them, because we've talked all about the varsity. Talk about the younger levels a little bit.
Again, they're going to have speed, I believe. They're real quick, and then they have some good. They're going to have good, solid line play and good running games. It's going to be a good level to see. It's going to be a great nucleus, for the whole.
Those are the Bulldog puppies.
There you go, the Bulldog puppies. There you go.
I saw what you did there.
I like.
That was crafty. I like that.
Coming up.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think for freshmen all the way to the varsity. So.
Well, Chris, you need to be studying. For both the sideline report and the Chris Roberts halftime show. We're excited about this year. We're glad you're a part of it. And
well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, looking forward to having you a part of the program.
Well, looking forward to it. And hey, go Dogs! And we'll see you in a couple weeks. So.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys have a great rest day, and thank you.
That sounds good. Okay. Stay with us just a second as we send this to commercial break. I don't even know if anyone's still watching or not, but we're going to send this to commercial break, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes.
Jackson Construction and Restoration is a family-owned and operated company specializing in residential and commercial services. We have been serving Central Illinois for over 20 years. If you want to remodel a room, restore a deck, or even start fresh with a new house, Jackson is there. And in the times of need after any fire or storm damage, our team of experts is there to help you rebuild or restore your home. Call now for an estimate on your next project.
The Mahomet-Seymour High School Athletic Boosters are proud to continue their support of 20 sport programs that make up MSHS Bulldog Athletics. They thank you for your continued support, and go Bulldogs!
For 150 years, you've believed in Busey. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family for generations. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868.
At D1 Networks, we take our role in connecting, protecting, and monitoring businesses in Central Illinois very seriously. When you need us, we'll be there, with service that sets the standard. From access control and structured cabling, to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363.
Jackson Construction and Restoration is a family-owned and operated company specializing in residential and commercial services. We have been serving Central Illinois for over 20 years. If you want to remodel a room, restore a deck, or even start fresh with a new house, Jackson is there. And in the times of need after any fire or storm damage, our team of experts is there to help you rebuild or restore your home. Call now for an estimate on your next project.
New guests in here.
We do, and he's a lot better than the other ones have been.
Well, let's face it,
let's be
prettier than
honest.
you and I, too. I mean, that's...
Well, obviously. That's obvious. We have Nikki Gallier here. Nikki is, she's been around Bulldog football for a long time, but we really want to ask Nikki, like you're sitting here, I'm speaking to her like she's not here.
Yeah, she's
Nikki,
already
we'd
here.
like to ask you about specifically the Gridiron Club today, because you're obviously the president of the Gridiron Club.
Yep.
So why don't you just kick us off here and tell us, what is the Gridiron Club? What do you do? What's your purpose?
All right. Well, the Gridiron Club was established about 4 years ago when Coach Adkins came to town. We knew that our football program needed a bit more financial support outside the school budget, and we had a really great group of parents, and we wanted to do something. So basically, I got a group together, made it official. We're a 501c3, and really our main goal is financial support of the Bulldog football and cheer programs, so both the guys and the ladies, and things outside the school budget, and also to foster community support and involvement. We really want to up the energy around Bulldog football and make it really special. So that's our primary purpose.
I'm just going to say, you're a natural on this mic. We've got an open spot on Bulldog TV for play-by-play. Do you want to?
Well, so you've seen me prowling the sideline. Time for that.
Okay,
I might be
fine.
A little too.
It was just an offer. I mean, just being generous.
She's kind of into the game.
I'm just a little into the game on Friday.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
Nikki's got a former Bulldog in Mitchell.
Yep.
Who's playing at McHenry.
Yeah.
And of course, Big Jack
Big
Galley,
Jack Galley.
Big Jack,
who will be a
yes.
3-year starter, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the Gridiron Club.
Let's do it.
What are some things that you've been able to buy for the program? You say you fundraise, so you've been here 4 years doing it. What's some things you've added to the program?
So we've had some some great community business support. Our parents are great. Over the past 4 years, we've been able to purchase a lot of equipment, sleds, shiver pads. I mean, I could go on and on about the things we've been able to purchase to benefit the guys in practice, right, from day to day. So we want to benefit the student athletes. We just purchased new pom-poms for the girls cheerleaders. So that is, we're always looking to help them add to what they need. In addition, we just purchased a new end zone camera for the guys. It was a big purchase. I mean, if you know anything about high school football, huddle is huge, and that end zone camera was a little janky last year, so we got that paid for. Oh my goodness, we're really proud of this. Last year when we made the playoffs, we were able to purchase a playoff sweatshirt for every player, cheerleader, and coach.
That's a big
and
deal.
that was a very big deal. We really want to make it memorable for the kids and make sure that their experience is amazing. And I don't know, there's just something special about Friday Night Lights and football. And so we want to make sure these kids go away with great memories.
So obviously you have to have events or something to raise money. So what are some things that you do? What do you got coming up? Is there any new surprises that you could share? Or maybe
no one's watching. Just tell us. Come on.
We do have a little surprise in the works, so I can't really say what that is right now, but I think it's going to really add to the Friday Night Light experience, and I think it's going to get some people real energized. So I can say a little bit more about that in a couple weeks, and you'll see it. So
sounds like we got to come to the first game to see it.
Well, I plan on being there myself.
Yes.
So what? How do you find out about it? Like, you got a Facebook? Or
yep,
what's
we got
the best
all the
way to
social
figure it
media.
out?
We got all the socials. We have Facebook, Bulldog Gridiron Club. Basically, if you search us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, we're going to be at Bulldog Gridiron Club. Any of those places, give us a follow. We have a website, bggridiron.com, and that is, if you would like to support us financially, we have a PayPal and Venmo donation there. We do a couple fundraisers throughout the year. We just did our 7-on-7, which is a huge one in the summer in July, and that we doubled our profits this year. It was a great event. And then we do a golf outing in the spring. And then, of course, we just got our chamber letters out, so we sent those letters out to all Mahomet Chamber businesses. There's only over 250 of those letters went out, and we have a lot of, last year we had a lot of great businesses, Colby Jackson at Country Companies, Justin and Lamb and Kevin Dyer at Sunset, CHI Overhead Doors. I mean, they all gave enough to sponsor a dinner, which on Thursday nights, which feeding 65 boys
Hungry
is
boys.
Hungry Boys. So that was very significant for us.
That's a lot of food.
Yep.
Hey, Chad, when she mentioned Venmo, that's an app that you have that you can.
Is that like cash? Like I put?
Yeah.
No,
it's all electronic. I'll teach you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still writing checks over here.
Yeah, I know. So we'll bring up speed. But
is there anything that you guys are in need of specifically coming into the season that you'd like to have that people could give towards? And
well, we, last year being the first year we've been back to playoffs in a while, we did some really awesome things for playoff season. We fed the boys. They always have a Thursday night dinner, right? But then when we started playing on Saturdays for playoffs, we would have a Friday night get together. We'd feed them. They'd play bags. They were all in one, and the cheerleaders. Everybody came.
Yep.
They were in one spot, and parents knew where they were. We sent them home at a decent time. We just want to keep everyone safe and focused. So we're always looking towards, feeding these guys is huge. This new secret project we have, anyone who wants to give, that would go towards that. And then Coach always has a wish list that he comes up with, that things they're in need of. And again, a lot of people think, football gets so much from the school budget. It really does not.
Yeah.
It really does not. And that's that's an issue everywhere in Illinois. But there are, when you're talking about a program that has over 90 players, there's a lot of expenses, and so
equipment's not cheap.
And equipment is not cheap. So, yep. So anyone who wants to give, will be put to very good use, and rest assured, it will be put towards the players and the cheerleaders. They're going to benefit and be excited from what we give. So
That's awesome.
It's just basically a common theme we keep hearing, total team effort, family-led, and family strong. So that's been the theme today. We didn't come into it with that theme, but that's been the theme.
That has been. I'm
Family
just
strong.
wondering how we would end up with, the playoff sweatshirt. I mean, we're pretty much a part of it anyway. I just didn't know.
I think I know somebody.
He's always trying to
Send me that Venmo. I'll make sure we can have a fair
It
exchange.
took us 6 years of begging to get our first T-shirt.
Oh, look at your T-shirts.
We're
Nice.
official.
Yeah.
Nice. One final thing.
Yes.
We really want to encourage everyone to get involved. We really do want that family feel, that family football feel. And we have lots of volunteer opportunities, so we encourage parents and community members, anyone who's interested in being a part of this special group, we got a place for you. So let us know.
That sounds great. Nikki, thank you for joining us
Appreciate
today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Looks like pads are
ready.
off, and the
They're
things
getting
we
ready.
can't show are about to happen.
Yeah, and Nikki wants to be there for that.
Nikki
and I know
wants to
I
be
do.
there. We're going to be
So-
there for that.
Yes.
So, Nikki, thank you so much.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah, we'll see
Thank
you.
you.
We'll see you on the
Appreciate it, Chad. Thanks, Jen.
sidelines and
Yep.
the bleachers.
Yep.
All
Thanks,
righty,
guys.
thanks.
All
Okay,
right,
and that
Chad.
brings us to the end
Yeah.
of the first ever program, preview program.
Well, I want to just hold on. I got to go back on
There you
this
go.
one. Yeah. Before we wrap this up, Chad, I did want to shoot. When Nikki was here, I thought of a total team effort, right? Family strong. We can't forget about the Athletic Booster Club.
No.
So the Gridiron Club for sure is important because they're dedicated to football, but the Athletic Booster Club does a ton for this community, and I don't want them to be overlooked. And Matt Hensley coordinates that, and they run the concessions, which is a huge job.
You know how I feel about popcorn.
Well, I was queuing you right up
Thank
for
you.
that. And there is a ton of support that they need. And their program, that obviously benefits every program. So
Yeah.
don't forget about those boosters if you're thinking about giving money to a program or to the school. They exist too, and they need help. So I didn't want to forget them.
Appreciate you pointing that out, Dan. Let's just review one last thing as we send it up to the booth, and that'll be a wrap. Don't forget, we have Morton, August 26th at 7 o'clock, team opener, season opener. We want the community to show up, show out. Are you pulling up, pictures? Is it? Oh, I know what you're going to do.
You can just keep on talking.
I know what you're going to do. You're not sly.
Well, me and technology are slightly better off than
Venmo and everything else. So, do you have how much exact time is
I don't
left?
think they can't zoom in this far, but it's exactly 13 days, 7 hours, 1 minute and 54 seconds till kickoff.
So that's pretty precise. We hope to see everyone there. We're going to send it back up to the booth. Special thanks to all the volunteers that pulled this together. We named them earlier. I couldn't remember them, if I'm being totally honest. Special thanks to Simon for allowing us to do this. Looking forward to 8/26, Dan.
I can't wait, brother.
Let's do it. Send it back up to the booth, and that'll be a wrap for pregame, preseason. We'll
From access control and structured cabling to video surveillance and fiber installation, we always strive to provide creative solutions to the ever-changing technology needs of our clients. Contact D1 Networks today. Visit our website or call us at 855-836-6363.